Welcome back to the Colorado Springs Business Podcast. My name is Andrew Hasley, and I am the host of the show. Today, we are sponsored by the Colorado Springs Business Podcast. And if you'd like to have me read an ad script that is from your company or whatever you want me to say at the beginning of every episode, 15 to 30 seconds, we can make that happen. And that's the way that this show makes its money. We don't have the guests. It doesn't cost to be a guest on the show. So yeah, that's the ads for today. We have some ads, I think, in the works, and some. This is called a pre-roll ad, which is at the beginning of every episode, and we have a post-roll ad. And yeah, so that is the ads for today. Today we have on Gabrielle Simmons, and tell us in a sentence or two what you do.
Yeah, I'm Gabrielle Simmons. I am not a real estate agent.
Yes.
So what I do is I provide creative real estate solutions for homeowners and investors. I have lots of different tools that get the job done.
Sweet. I'm going to roll the intro music and we're going to get into that conversation. This is a show where we have real conversations with entrepreneurs and business owners who are mostly in Colorado Springs doing things in the community of Colorado Springs. So Gabrielle, how you doing?
I'm doing good today. I'm dragging a little bit, but the passion of what I do every day just keeps me going no matter how tired I am.
For sure. And what is it that you do?
So I buy houses. I sell houses that we've bought and renovated, sell them off market so people really get an opportunity to not deal with so much competition. And then, yeah, the buying of the houses is the most fun part of what I do, helping people who need to sell their house in a different way than the traditional put it on the MLS with a real estate agent.
What's the MLS?
An MLS is a multiple listing service. Like Zillow is a third-party MLS, just to kind of keep it simple. They take all of the listings of properties that are for sale and put it in one place. So an MLS does that.
So it's a little automated and impersonal, is what would you say?
Yeah, a lot more less personal than working with me directly.
Yeah, for
Definitely.
sure. So what got you into this? What set you on the path to really start doing wholesaling?
Well, not to get too far into it, but I was truck driving for 2 years.
Okay.
Had my own semi-truck and realized that I probably don't want to sit behind the wheel of a truck every day for the next 30 years.
Yeah.
to provide for myself and my family. So I realized I wanted to do something else that could bring in the financial freedom that I was really looking for. And I started learning about wholesaling through books and podcasts, and realized that that's something I could totally do, because wholesaling is about helping people.
Okay.
It's about providing solutions. And I just started doing it, letting people know, like, I can help you. You need to sell your home, and listing it on the market is not the ideal situation for you for multiple different reasons, right? And so I just started offering that opportunity.
What are those reasons?
Why
some
people
of them,
might not want to sell their house on the
MLS?
Yeah. It ranges. So one of the most common ones that I find, like people who aren't in necessarily distressed situations where, they're not facing bankruptcy, they're not facing foreclosure. They just need to move out of one house and move into another one. And a lot of times that can be difficult because you have your equity in the house that you live in and you're trying to buy another house. Well, you need to sell your first house to have the money to put as a down payment on your second house. Well, when you typically put your house on the market and sell in the traditional way to an individual who wants to live in your house, that takes so much time. You move out from house A, you have to go to house B to wait, and then you get into house C, the one you really wanted to move into. Well, working with an investor.
Which one's house B?
House B would be like a lot of people will move out of their house and go and stay in a hotel.
Oh.
Or go and stay with family.
Okay.
Or, situations that probably aren't ideal. Because they then have to find the house that they're moving into now that they have the cash, put the down payment, go through a 30-day process, of closing on it before they can move into house C, where they really want to be. So I provide an opportunity in a situation like that where I can come in and I can buy the house for cash, house A, and I'm not trying to live there. So there's no need for them to get out of the house immediately. We do what's called like a lease back or rent back. They can stay in the house and basically pay rent to us until they're ready to move out. And that's just something we're able to negotiate so that it makes that process so much easier to transition.
There's a lot of inefficiencies in a lot of industries.
Yeah, and that's really one of them that I think people don't realize.
Yeah, for sure. Sweet. So how long have you been doing this?
It's been about a year.
Okay.
Yeah, since I've been wholesaling, and it's taken off really.
That's good. That's good. Why do you think it's taking off so well for you?
I think it's because I really, really care. And so the people that I talk to, the people that I work with, my partners, everyone can tell that just, I do this business because I care. It's not so much just for the fame and glory, because that you really don't get much fame and glory.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think it's just because I really care, and I make an effort all the time to just figure out the best way to make things work for everyone. So
you got a lot of attention to detail, and when you care, everything else kind of just comes together, I guess.
Yeah.
Because you're going to make sure that you are getting all the details correct when you care. You're going to be more in it when you care, and you're going to be more passionate about it.
Definitely.
So what drives that? What drives you, like the caring? Where do you think that comes from?
I was just born that way.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Really, I've always with my family, friends, everyone. Well, okay, I haven't always been the best friend because I'm kind of a brat. Okay. Well, I used to be. But with family, it's always been like I'm the caretaker, so I take care of people.
Yeah.
And I put other people before me. So it's been easy to take that into business. Okay.
So who do you think? I guess actually, how do you go about finding clients? To educate anyone who might be interested in that aspect.
So people who need to sell their home, how I usually find them is, well, a lot of like a networking. I go to a lot of places. I meet a lot of people all the time for different reasons. It doesn't even have to be related to real estate. And social media really is probably one of the largest ways that I find people. People will make posts, or people who know me send them my way. Oh, you said you're looking to buy a house. Go talk to her. For sure. You're looking to sell a house, or you're going through money problems. You need to sell your house. Go talk to her. It's primarily word of mouth. Yeah.
And are you producing content on social media?
I am. A little bit here and there. Definitely starting to do more of that. And alongside you to help me with that.
For sure.
Yes.
All right. So what do you think is actually, let's go back to the truck driving thing. I want to dive in a little bit about that.
Okay.
So do you technically, since you said you owned your own truck, that's like your own business in a way, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it is.
Sweet. So do you like try to find people who need your truck services, or they reach out to you? Are you on a list somewhere? Like, what does that look like?
As an owner-operator with your own truck, you kind of have two different ways to go about it. You can have your own authority, where you would essentially do what you just said. Like, I'm finding people who need my truck per the load. Or you can do what I've always done, which is leasing on to a larger corporation that already has those contracts with companies that need the truck. So I became like a subcontractor in that way.
Okay. And you still run that business?
I do. Well, I still have the business. I still operate under the business. My fiance, he is taking it over now.
Okay.
And he's out there driving all the time. He comes home like once a month.
Oh, is he in a different state right now?
He is.
Okay.
Yeah. He was in Canada 2 days ago.
Oh, wow. I've never been to Canada yet.
I went a couple times when I was trucking. It's a great place.
I've seen some pictures and the photos. Like it looks like it's a pretty place.
Yeah. Where I went, it looked like Oklahoma.
Okay.
So I was a little disappointed.
And as a truck driver, you drive through Oklahoma a lot, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. In Kansas, and you're just like,
oh yeah, yeah, for sure. The first half of Kansas is all right with all the hills and all the windmills and
yeah, it's pretty actually.
Yeah, but then it gets a little boring.
It does.
A little plain.
Yeah, with all the rolling plains.
Yes, exactly. So you've traveled pretty much everywhere doing that truck driving stuff.
I have, yeah. I've been to all 48 states.
Oh, wow.
And Canada.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I've only been to like maybe 10 states, maybe.
That's still a lot.
Yeah.
Prior to trucking, I had only ever been to like 4, I think.
Mm-hmm. And so you grew up here in Colorado, right?
I did, yeah. I'm one of the few Colorado natives.
Yeah.
And my whole family has been in Colorado for over 60 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're very proud to call this place home.
Mm-hmm. So what's that, 1960s?
Oh, goodness, I don't know. I'm not good with math.
Yeah, I was fast. I did it that fast.
Yeah,
I was surprised
you're quick.
I did it fast. So yeah, I guess around 1960s, your family came out here, and what did they come? What drove them out here?
Or even earlier, actually, because my great grandmother. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what brought him out here.
Yeah,
probably military. I would have to, because my great grandfather was military.
And are you from a native of the Springs or just Colorado?
Colorado Springs.
Okay, nice. Yeah. The military actually brought me out here. I wasn't in the military, but I was doing construction on the military base. So, and then I fell in love with the city, and then I was like, I'm going to stay.
Well, we're glad you're here.
Yeah, thank you.
You bring a lot to this city that we need for sure.
I appreciate that. So, yeah, so what do you think has been some of your biggest challenges in starting this wholesaling business? And I know you've had like some great success with it, but I'm sure there's some struggles that you had.
Certainly. Trying to let people know that, like, what we do is legit. That's probably the number one hardest thing, because unfortunately there are scammers. There are people who
we buy houses,
right?
Those big billboards. That's all you see,
right? And then and even some of those people who truly do the work, then they come around and they're giving people horrible lowball offers. That's just like, offensive.
Yeah, for sure.
And so having a bad reputation before I had the opportunity to earn a reputation was very difficult. I'm seeing less of that now.
Yeah.
Just because people are starting to really see, what I do and how I do it, and that it's very ethical.
I think you see a lot of those "We Buy Houses" signs. They're just yellow and red colors, and they're just text. I think if we had like your face on it, and then like adding that into it, or maybe even saying something different, like "I'm not a real estate agent."
That's a great idea, and making it more personal.
Yeah. I think the face really adds that, because you never see the "We Buy Houses" with faces on them, or maybe you do. I don't know.
Not really, but there's a reason for that, because they're technically illegal. They're bandit signs. They're usually, you're not supposed to just put up signs. Most
I was
places,
saying like a billboard.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah. Then that's a good idea.
Yeah. or even the Metro bus. I was looking at that. I don't know how effective they are, but I'm sure they're effective.
Yeah.
Because it's literally a billboard that moves around town.
Definitely.
I know. I'm really like Frank Azar. He's like on like lots of billboards and on the Metro buses. Like I know his face.
Right.
I think we're friends on Facebook.
Yeah. He has mastered that marketing tactic of being everywhere all the time, and like you feel like you can trust him. You feel like maybe even like him.
Yeah,
because
and
you
you
just
kind of
see him
do
all
in
the
a way.
time.
Like his name, his face. Like it's interesting. I definitely, for this podcast, one of my marketing goals is to get a billboard for it, because a lot of people like listen to podcasts while they're driving.
Yes.
So it's good to be like, Spotify right here, go listen, or Apple Podcasts, whichever you listen on.
No, that's great.
And that's one of my marketing goals for this podcast. But, you know, I want to get some more cash flow flowing in before I spend an investment like that.
Yeah.
And I think an investment like that would allow more cash flow flowing in, because it'll also advertise the advertising space at the beginning of every episode.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the really interesting thing about business, that and I think you've been in business longer than I have. But as a business owner, you realize that like it takes the investment that's a big investment up front to really grow the business, but then it almost always ends up being worth it.
If you take that risk, that's the problem right there, or that's the hard part right there.
Right.
Is taking that risk. And I've actually I've been like starting businesses for like over a decade and been obsessed with it for over a decade. But Vehement Visuals is my first successful business, and it's only a year and a half old.
Wow.
So you might have been an actual business longer than I have. but I think that success for Vehement Visuals is that initial, I spent more money than I ever had on coaching. Like not on coaching, but more money than I ever had at one time ever on anything on coaching.
Right. Yeah. And that's what built up to you finally having this successful business that is blowing up quickly.
Yeah.
You know?
And there's also not only like a risk of money, but there was a risk of going out and doing it and like sacrificing so much. Like I was doing it in a city that I knew not one person. When I came to Colorado Springs, I didn't have family here. I didn't have friends here. Not even one friend on Facebook here.
Wow.
So it's like I started building that up. And within a year and a half, I've built more connections here in Colorado Springs than I had in Kansas City my whole entire life.
That's
like,
amazing.
It's wild.
You are a prime example for business owners whose business is people.
Yeah.
You know, of what you should be doing. Maybe not the exact thing that you're doing, but
For sure.
the way you're building relationships and connections.
Yeah.
It's powerful for both people involved.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
your business and other people's businesses and lives.
Because my business is a B2B business. We don't do like what's some videography services that are not B2B, like weddings. We don't do weddings. We don't.
Dang, I was going to ask you to do mine.
Oh, really? Well, I've been saying this for a year. I might do one wedding. So that might be cool.
Make me your guinea pig?
Well, I did it when I first got into video production, my sister was getting married, and like last minute I was like, I can video the thing. I had pulled out both of my iPhones, you know, I had recorded it all on my iPhones, and like it was fun. It's cool. It's really special about that is because they have that video, and like I even like got a flash drive for it, and I got like a package, and like it was my wedding gift to them.
Aww,
yeah.
That's so sweet.
So it's like it's kind of like not perfect, but I think that makes it even sweeter, like because they have that now, and every year they watch it, so it's like they have that piece. So it's really cool.
It is.
Yeah.
Up until I met you and started discussing the whole video ideas, I hadn't even thought of having a videographer at our wedding.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, just like how we said when we were discussing your video, even if you don't know how to do it, you figure out how to get it done. That's how I am, and I would like learn how to make the best wedding video for you. If I did it.
Yeah.
But
not to put you on the spot, you can think about it.
Yeah. Well, I think that's why I've been like kind of advertising. Oh, I'll do one wedding. I think I do want to try it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can discuss something else.
Okay.
So what do you think have been some of the highlights of your journey so far?
Well, definitely, you know, the first opportunity to help a seller, that was like the biggest moment of like, wow, I'm really doing this, and it's really, really helping this person and their family. So that's huge. And I feel like I kind of carry a little piece of that with me every day. And also meeting my partner, who is an incredible investor, has been in the real estate industry for, he might kill me if I get this wrong. I want to say like over 17 years.
Just give or take an estimate. Yeah.
Yeah, a long time.
Yeah.
Almost more than half of my life.
Oh, wow.
So he's incredible, and just having the opportunity to work alongside him. He mentors me. He's on track to do 50 fix and flips this year. And so I'm in that business as well. I help him.
So you hire other people too to renovate. So it's, do you hire plumbers? We got one right here.
Yeah.
Alpha Elite.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Always looking for good work.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was just excited because there's a lot of opportunities for other business owners too for what you do.
Absolutely. And that's one of his messages that he always pushes is like, we create opportunities, not just for ourselves and the homeowners and the buyers and the sellers, but also for the people who get to work with us. We're providing jobs, and that's an awesome feeling too.
Yeah.
We employ a lot of people to do the fix and flips.
Yeah. So you met your fiance through, if you didn't do this journey, you would never have met him.
No, actually, I met my fiance 5 years ago.
Okay.
We lived in the same apartment complex.
Oh, nice. That's interesting.
Yeah. And he was in the Army, and we were just friends. We were friends for over 4 years. And yeah. Then he went off to become a trucker. We had no contact whatsoever.
Whoa.
And then I found him on Facebook, and I told him I'm studying to get my CDL. And he's like, no, you're not, whatever. Why would you ever want to be a trucker?
Yeah.
This is a dirty old nasty job, And I showed him the proof, and I got my permit, and he was like, oh my goodness, he couldn't believe it. And then we just met up at a truck stop one day, like a year later after reconnecting. And pretty much have just been together ever since.
That's awesome.
When we saw each other again after all those years, it was like, yeah, this is the person that I really want to be with.
Sweet. That's cool.
Yeah. I feel very lucky to have had that opportunity to get into trucking, explore that world and that life and be out there by myself. I was on the road by myself, traveling all across the country. And that's for over a year.
I know a lot of truck drivers, like you said, you didn't want to see yourself doing that 30 years down the line. I've heard, and I'm sure it's true, because sitting's bad for you. Your health kind of can decline drastically because of doing truck driver stuff.
Definitely.
Imagine, I just had a thought. It's a crazy thought. Putting a treadmill in your truck while you're driving.
How would that work?
I don't know. You'd have to really innovate. Yeah. You'd have to really cut out some things and build it up. But that might be bad.
That might be bad. I don't think DOT would like that.
No, probably not. But maybe a cycle, like a cycle machine.
I've actually, what you're saying is not that far-fetched. I've seen it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there are drivers who.
And maybe in the back seat too, maybe not while you're driving, but yeah, just having some ideas. And maybe your treadmill can I don't know. I'm really going
pop out of the floor.
Yeah. Well, we need to start thinking about truckers' health.
Yes, we do. This is true. And let's start by taking these crappy fast food places out of every truck stop.
Yes.
That is the worst.
And that's really all the only options you have for the most part.
Literally. Yeah. We need more healthy options. Okay. Don't leave it at that, because I could go on all day about that.
So is there anything specific that you'd like to promote on this episode?
I just really want the opportunity to share with people that not only do I do my business, not only do I buy houses with cash and provide those solutions, but I also am selling the houses that we renovate. And that, from what I'm hearing, is so new, and it gives people a unique opportunity to get in without the competition. The Colorado Springs real estate market is on fire all the time. Coronavirus has not stopped it as much as we thought it would. And so people...
Yeah, because at the beginning, there was a big concern of the real estate, the whole industry. But then I've noticed it's been booming.
Yeah, it has. And it really hasn't stopped.
Yeah.
And people who are in the market to buy a home right now are very frustrated at the competition, at being outbid constantly. And, you know, as soon as they find a house, they like it, they put in an offer. Oh, we already have 4 other offers. And that's frustrating. So I provide the opportunity to say, hey, here's this property that's not on the market yet. We're having a discussion because I'm talking to you, you know? So I just encourage people to reach out.
You have the property, and you can, and that means you can be like, no, there's not going to be, it's not going to be as competitive. You can make it less competitive in that aspect.
Yeah. Or not competitive at all. You know, if I meet you today and you say, yeah, I'm ready to buy a house and pre-approved.
You want people to know that they can trust that you're not going to go behind their back and try to sell it to someone else.
Right.
Okay.
I'm giving you an opportunity to buy this property right here, and even opportunity to, pick some of the renovations, which is really fun and really cool.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you like it, we're on board, you know what's going to be completed, and we go under contract, and that's it. You know, we know the price, you know the price, we have an agreement, because we're not focused on being greedy. You know, we're not focused on, oh, I want to get as much possible money for this property as I can. We're focused on having a lot of properties. It's more about the quantity.
Having a lot of properties to sell, or having just a lot of properties, like owning?
Having a lot of properties that we fix and flip.
Okay.
So we want like a quick turnover.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But why didn't you decide to do rental stuff?
I do that too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So we do a little bit of everything.
Okay.
I have a rental property. My partners have rental properties, multiple. Rentals actually is my retirement plan.
Okay. Okay.
So in the next 4 years, by the time I'm 30, I will be retired.
Okay.
And that'll be thanks to rental properties.
And how many rental properties do you need to retire?
So my 4-year mark will be 20 rental properties.
Okay. Are these duplexes? Are these houses? Are these apartments?
20 units, we'll say. Yeah, because it could vary. Right now I have a duplex, looking at buying a single family home this year, or 2 more single family homes this year.
Okay.
So yeah, just 20 units. And then that'll retire me. And then by 35, that'll double itself.
Okay.
That's the amazing thing about real estate.
Especially about the Springs, because it's just booming right now.
Yeah, but we also buy and hold rentals in Denver and Pueblo as well. Nice.
Yeah. I've heard that single families can be a pain, because you have to maintain the lawn, you have to maintain all this, you have to make sure everything's going. And so, like, a guest that was on the show, I think it was the first episode actually, he was saying like he wants to get like rental properties that aren't like single family homes, because the HOA would take care of all that extra stuff.
Yeah. Condos are great for that, for sure. And here, you know, condos are pretty costly. It may not cash flow that well, but in other markets, and that's the thing too, you know, you don't have to necessarily just look at one market. I'm starting to look in Cincinnati, St. Louis, Houston, other parts of the country.
Yeah. Sweet. Kansas City, maybe? Yes.
Actually, I know a guy who, he does some incredible things with real estate in Kansas City.
Nice.
I meant to ask you last time I saw you, or give you his information. So if you ever know anyone, you know, selling a house or something, he would be a great contact.
Sweet. Let me hit this button real quick.
Okay.
So what I do in that gap when I get up and do that, I just put a logo on the video right there in that empty gap for the video. That's what I do to edit it and make so it's not just like a blank black screen.
Yeah.
Because this audio gets recorded and thrown together and synchronized with that video.
I like your logo, by the way.
Thank you.
It really stands out. Like, it's not overly complicated. And it gets the point across. It's simple, but it's like eye-catching. Yeah, I love it.
Which logo? The Colorado Springs or the Vahima Visuals?
Both.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, definitely. But I was talking about the Colorado Springs Business Podcast. Yeah.
And what's cool is, like, it's COS, like the logo is COS, so it looks like it's COS Business Podcast. And what's cool is I plan on making this a global podcast.
Right.
But it's going to have mostly entrepreneurs and business owners in Colorado Springs. But I do plan on having other, because I plan on making this the #1 business podcast in the world.
Yes.
And I do plan on having celebrity entrepreneurs on the show. Also, you know, maybe just some other companies that are out of state, but it'll be mainly have the essence of Colorado Springs. Basically, I'm just putting the team on my back.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it.
So yeah, I designed both of my logos. The one for Vehement Visuals, I actually drew it on a pen, paper and pen first, and then I threw it in Photoshop and then converted it and then made it all like digitized.
Yeah.
And that one, like, I designed from scratch as well, but it wasn't drawn first, but I did get all the beveling and all that extra stuff into it. And I guess I am a part-time designer.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah. I've been using Photoshop like for over a decade now, way before I started video stuff. So I've always been like in creative, a little bit of everything, but it usually has to do with creative stuff. Like got a ukulele over here.
Right.
And that's a big part of the studio. It's there to keep spirits up. And
I want to hear you play it.
I can play it right now. I don't mind like doing these weird things during the interview. All right. So
Oh, it's so beautiful. Such a beautiful sound.
yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yes. It just creates the vibe.
Yeah, that would be good for your wedding.
Yes. Oh, so you're going to put on a performance too?
Yeah, sure. you gotta pay for that performance too, though.
Put on the performance and then video it. But who's going to record you putting on the performance?
I'll set up a tripod.
Okay.
I'll have Edgar help out.
Sounds good. All right.
But yeah, actually, the performance will be a wedding gift.
Okay. I could appreciate that.
Yeah.
We got some planning to do.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm not a big performer, so that would be big for me as well. So that'd be fun.
Yeah.
So I've actually been really practicing. I seen recently Post Malone. He did a whole Nirvana cover playlist on YouTube Live, like right when COVID started, and like every 20 minutes he raised $100,000. It was insane. Like
Wow.
people donating, like because it was a live stream thing on YouTube, and he was with Travis Barker from Blink-182, who was on the drums, and they played like an hour and a half of nothing but Nirvana covers. And that gave me, and he like killed it. Like he sounded like a lot like Kurt. It was crazy.
Wow.
But it gave me an idea. I want to do a whole like 16 songs, like that's about an hour of nothing but Post Malone covers on my ukulele.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
So I've been practicing some Post Malone. I got about 3 of them down, and yes.
I have to hear that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm not a big singer, so most of the music, all the music that I'm producing now, I have no intentions or goals of how I used to like approach music. I wanted to, make it a career. I wanted to be famous,
Right.
and from my music. And so it's like I've given up on that, but in a good way, because I found some other things that I like doing. But now it's really like been like such a relief when I go to play music or when I go to make music, because I'm not worried about all that extra shit.
Yeah. It releases that pressure.
Yes.
And you're doing it because you want to do it.
Yeah, exactly. So I would really love to like really get all 16 songs down, because that would be fun.
Yeah. You gonna record it and like put it out there?
I think I'm gonna do a live, try to get it all in one set.
Sweet.
And it's gonna be interesting. I don't care if it sounds like crap either.
Nor should you.
Yes. Yeah. I just went off on a little tangent right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we can actually start wrapping up the show if you want, unless there's anything else you'd like to talk about.
One thing I do want to mention is that I'm always here to coach people as well.
Mhm.
Anyone who's interested in getting into real estate in any way, shape, or form.
Yes.
Anyone who's, even not working with me, someone who wants to buy a house and they want to know a little bit more about the ins and outs or the numbers that they should be running and stuff like that. I'm always here to help people. And I really get a lot of satisfaction out of just helping people, even if it doesn't really benefit me much, because that does benefit me. It just makes me feel good.
And yeah, I did actually kind of want to bring that up. You are starting a coaching thing kind of in that arena, right?
Yeah. I've been offering coaching for over a year now.
Oh, wow.
In different things like
Mm-hmm.
credit, business credit, how to start a business, how to get into trucking, how to get into real estate. But my upcoming complete mentorship program is going to be for wholesaling specifically. And it's going to be really in depth.
And it's going to be a whole program for that.
Yes.
Is it going to be like a course that they can take too?
No, it's a 3-month program that's like one-on-one.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah. And so we can be face-to-face. I prefer face-to-face meetings and stuff, but or video or whatever, but really walking people through with one-on-one interactions of how to do the business, how to run the numbers, how to talk to people. And I will even do your first deal for you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And you can shadow me and I will take none of the profits.
That's amazing. So are you focusing on just Colorado area, or could you imagine helping someone out in New York do
anywhere?
that?
Yeah, anywhere.
So are you going to put together like a marketing plan to really reach as much people as you can?
Yes. So still working out, all the all the stuff backstage with help because time is limited. So as I expand more, I need to bring in more help, maybe hire some people. So but I do. Yeah. Right now I'm only taking on 3 clients a month.
Yes. Okay.
And I have a few right now that I'm already working with that kind of are getting the introductory part of the program. So I'm working.
And their program's three months long though, right?
It's 3 months to guarantee within those 3 months you'll get a deal done.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And so since you're taking on 3 a month, by the 3rd month you could have 9 clients. Or yeah. Okay. So you're comfortable with that?
Yes.
Nice. Because I noticed you said you were only taking on 3 clients, and I was like, well, that could be even more since it's 3 months long.
Yeah.
Okay.
And because my goal is that I will knock out each client a month.
Okay. So you maximize 9 total, and 3 clients a month kind of keeps that in there.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we're working really, really hard to make it happen to where each client is getting their deal done within a month. I give that 3-month time period because life happens. Yeah. Things happen, and I am guaranteeing it. So
the goal is 1 month, but
yes,
the guarantee is 3 months.
3 months.
Nice.
Yep. Within 3 months, I will help you get a deal done.
And so, who's your ideal client?
My ideal client is the person who is tired of being an employee. Wants to branch out, wants to get into an area of work that is both based on service and hard work, someone who's willing to put in the time. And even if it's a part-time job, a side gig to your day job, someone who is willing to take on that extra work, and someone who understands that it's not going to be something you just jump into and you're perfect at. We got to fail forward.
Yes.
And that's something my mentor always says, and I love that.
Yeah, me too. I like to flail forward.
That's more fun.
Yeah.
But somebody who, doesn't have a whole lot of money, just wants to get into something that's a business that requires little to no money, but they're willing to invest in themselves, and they can see the value in making that investment to work with me and know that it's going to produce something that's going to be life-changing.
Someone who's ready to make that investment as well.
Yes.
Awesome. Sweet.
Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for having me here today. I really have enjoyed this.
Yeah, same here. And it's always a pleasure to be in your presence. All right. So this has been the Colorado Springs Business Podcast, and we will see you guys in the next episode.